Hey everyone, today we're going to update the original 116 Traxxas VXL. You're going to need a 2080 server and a 7043 steering kit. Now my servo, actually I found out didn't come with a screw. We'll talk about that later. So you might need to find a servo screw as well. First thing to do is take out these two screws. And then once those are out, you'll have that hole open. And then this one little screw got stuck in. We'll just go ahead and get that out of there. Oh, kind of got stuck up there. Nice little magnetic pliers, get that out. All right, then from there, you'll get your servo. And yeah, I don't know why there's no servo screw included with this servo, but that was kind of a pain. You'll see what I did later, but don't do what I did, get a screw. So we'll go ahead and put the servo in, matching the same way the other servo is directed, and then we'll have the servo protector here. Get that lined up the right way and put in. It just kind of holds, doesn't hold perfectly in place. You got to hold it in, but it fits into place perfectly, so you know it's in the right spot. We'll go ahead and kind of hold it, and then we'll get our screw, and we're just going to screw those in from how we took the screws out, same place. We'll go ahead and throw one on each side here. And then I usually go back, I tighten them mostly down rather than tightening one down all the way. So I get them mostly tightened down, and then I'll go back to either side and make sure that they are hand tight. Do this with most of the screws. You don't want to just tighten one all the way with the other one completely untightened. Just kind of go back and forth. Now we'll flip it over, and as you can see, oh, before we get to that, let's go ahead and turn on our transmitter, center everything out. Let's go ahead and plug in the truck and turn it on just to get the servos centered. We want everything to be centered so that when we put it together, it's where we expect it to be. So now you get your little servo horn, and we're just going to push that on there. Now, if you have a screw, that's all you need to do, but mine didn't have a screw. So I decided to use some JB Weld. So this is never coming off. It should work fine. But you have to be careful if you do something like this, because if some of that glue spills and it touches the servo, it's just going to be frozen in place. The servo is going to be no good anymore. So I got lucky, and mine worked out, you'll see. So you push it down, but I was having a little trouble with my fingers getting it all the way in there. So I ended up just using a little tool. You could use whatever just to push it, something more blunt just to push through there. Get that servo horn all the way on. Okay, now we got to go to the receiver box. So we got 4 screws. I've already taken 3 out just for speeding up the video. So the last screw there. And 2 of the screws are up front. You'll see later the piece that I took off. 2 are just holding in the box, but then 2 are holding in this little piece where the servos go. You'll see. So now we're going to take the servo and go straight under the motor. I see some people taking out a lot of parts to do this. You don't have to move the motor or nothing. Just stick that servo down under there. And now you're going to have to wiggle it around a bit, but you'll get it through there. It only took me about 20-30 seconds. And then it got through enough, I can just pull it on through. Then get your servo wire just kind of out of the way. I'll move it down a little more, I think, in a second. And then right here, there was where the other 2 screws were. They were holding on the top of this waterproof part. Just pushing this servo wire down there. So now you got to get this through this waterproof entrance. And you might have to move these other wires just to the side a bit, and then get your servo stuck through there. Everything's a little tight, but it's not hard. It all fits pretty easy, but you just gotta, work with it. It goes right in there though. So now we got it in there, and we're gonna plug it into the second channel 1. I believe that is channel 1. There's 2 steering channels. They're both labeled the exact same. Again, you got to just kind of work around in there. It's not too small. Luckily, it's a 116 and not something smaller. Now, watch out for your waterproof blue little gasket there. You're going to want to just push this down. Oh, yeah, make sure your wires are also kind of lined up well. Mine didn't get perfect, but there are little notches and stuff to line your wires up really nice, and that'll help with the waterproofness. Then go ahead and line everything up. And just push it down and hold it in place from top and bottom. So there we go. And now we're going to put the receiver box back on the car, screwed down. So we'll go ahead and get these screws going. There's just 2 for it. And again, I'll probably go, yep, back and forth just to make sure everything's nice and tight. Don't go too hard. You don't want to strip anything. Just you know, finger tight with your small screwdriver. Now there's the wires. I didn't have mine perfect, but you put this top back on, and you might have to move it around a bit. You'll see it takes me just a few seconds. Oh, it looked like it fell, but then I touch it, pops right into place. So these were the other two screws that I took out, and you go ahead and put that back in. You have to put this on after you put the receiver box back in. It will not fit back in place if that is on. So you have to do it in this order. Now we'll go ahead and plug in the car. And there we go. We got everything almost ready. Now we just have to connect the linkage. So we're going to go ahead and connect the link. I already put those little screws and balls into the plastic part, but yeah, you just push those through and they're threaded. You just screw them into either one of the links there. And now we're done. Pretty simple. Didn't take me very long, maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. It really isn't that bad. And now we have double the power for our steering.